Beautiful Tuesday today.
Beautiful Tuesday today. Yes, it is.
All right, start off with your name, your position, and the various brands that you represent.
My name is James Ward, and I'm the owner and the president of Cali Seasoning and band leader for the James Ward Band, the JWB, and also James Ward Photography, the JWP.
Exactly, exactly. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. We want to get into Cali season. Like,
Can't do
why?
that without saying
That's what the editing is for, baby.
You know they told me not to do that in college.
What? Don't worry
Speech
about
class don't say
Yeah, it's like don't say you know what I mean, because they don't.
it. They don't.
pause and think.
Pause and think, and then I'm trying not to just go. You know what I'm saying?
It's all the editing. When I edit it, I'm
You
gonna take
gonna
out all
edit
that
it
dead
out.
space and take it all out.
Uh-huh. We gonna see Camilo outside though.
All right,
Make you
tell
look
us.
good and make you sound smart.
All right, tell us a little
Yes,
bit about your grandmother and why you started this, how you got this inspiration.
Well, first of all, everybody loves grandma. We come home from school sometimes, and we could always tell when grandma's home because you could smell her perfume. First of all, it's like granny's home. And then sometimes she would cook, and it's like, well, she's cooking also. So that was always an inspiration. And my grandmother was also a musician. You know, so my mother was a musician who was also an excellent cook. So we're all musicians. You know, I have memories of her sitting next to me on the piano. She's like, "You want to hear the blues?" And I'll say, "Yeah." And she'll play the blues or whatever. Push fast forward, my family wants to move to the suburbs. So they're in South Kansas City. And I went to Lincoln Academy High School and I marched in the band. So in order to keep going to the school, I would have to stay in that school district. So I ended up staying with my grandmother. So while I lived with my grandmother, she taught me how to cook. I would cook all the time, and she would taste test everything I'd cook. And she would tell me to add this and add that. So I noticed I've always used the same combination of seasonings when I cook most things. So one day I said, well, you know what? I'm going to write down the recipe for this and put it in a bottle because it's going to save time. I got tired of taking all the bottles out the cabinet and mixing stuff. So now I made this batch of seasoning, and I started, people were loving it, and I started giving out some little samples in little bags and put it in a bottle. And the rest is history in the making.
Perfect. So talk a little bit about flavor and food. Like I remember one of the things that we talked about, right?
Yes.
The importance, not even just the importance of flavor and food, but also maybe the struggle of, figuring out what's the right seasoning to add.
Exactly. Well, for most things that I cook, I notice I use the same few seasonings. And then I had some taste tests going on, and people said, add this, well, add this, this, that, and the other. So it's not salty, and it doesn't have MSG in it. So it's like a good balance. So just people notice it just makes their food taste better. And the thing about flavor is I'm an artist. So music, photography, culinary, it's all art. And there's one word that goes through all of that, and that's the word nuance. Nuance is the little things that you add here and there that make something special. Like you've seen someone dancing and you'll say, do that again, or how did you do that? Or you eat something, you're like, wow, what is this? That's nuance. The difference between good and great. The difference between a garage band and a professional sounding band. So flavor is something that I kind of applied to cooking that I've taken from other disciplines.
Okay. Talk about how Cali seasoning helps people save time.
Oh my God, you're taking bottles out the cabinet. And when I first came up with the idea of actually offering this seasoning blend to people, it was really going to be for people who couldn't cook. It was going to be for the single people out there who's trying to impress that girlfriend or that boyfriend and that significant other that they know that they can't cook, so they try to put stuff together. With this seasoning, puts the confidence back into cooking. So if you can't cook, you need Cali's in your purse, in your pocket, so you can sprinkle it on your food, and it makes it taste great. So that's kind of how it came about. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, there you did.
Yeah, but this is my grandmother, Callie B. Perry, and she was a missionary and an evangelist in the church. She would preach, teach, sing, play the piano. She was a great grandmother, cook, mentor. I lived with her. She taught me a lot of things, and I guess spending a lot of time with her, it didn't age me, but it kind of, sitting around with old people makes you act mature. She said, "What you doing today, old man?" I'm like, "Well, I'm going to the library." So this is the seasoning blend. It has a red top on it. You can get some at Sunfresh, and we're working on the Constantinos, and we're working on other stores. And also, you can buy this at the American Jazz Museum in the Swing Shop. We have a jazzy blend, available where you can get it there. So this is the product. Low salt, no MSG, very flavorful. Use it for your fish, chicken, beef, pork, everything. Someone said everything but cereal.
Perfect. I want to go back a little bit to your grandmother. Tell us a little bit about the impact that she had, maybe like on other people, and like what type of person. Talk a little bit more about her.
My grandmother was very benevolent, and I guess that's where I've got my benevolence from. Is she would bring in homeless people and bring them in her house and let them stay there. I think my aunt told me one time she woke up and somebody was next to her that she didn't know. She was just really, really benevolent. She was a giver. She was a very nice, sweet person, and she influenced a lot of people through her teaching, through her preaching, and definitely touched my life. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to season things. She taught me how to treat people. I spent a lot of, almost like a mother. It's almost like she adopted me, sort of, because all through high school, I've lived there, right there at Brush Creek Towers.
My next question was, what's the best food to use it on? But
oh my goodness!
What would you say in your opinion?
I can't say everything, but one day, my wife Angela, she made some French fries. I know. She made French fries out of green giant potatoes. And she put some of the stuff on there, and we were just fighting over them. Because it seemed like that hit me the most. But most foods, it kind of catches you off guard because it brings out the flavor of food. It's not salty. In America we've been trained to consider goods like salty or whatnot. But there's a new trend where people are trying to eat healthy, and this has less salt in it. So I would say French fries with green giant potatoes.
The stores that we're in.
Yes, definitely. It's at the Sunfresh on Blue Parkway, and it's also available at the American Jazz Museum at the Swing Shop. You can also go to www.calisflavor.com. That's califlavor.com, Cali's Flavor with an S. You can also go there and order it. And you'll look up, it'll be different other places, and stay tuned and we'll tell you other websites and things where you can get this product.
Perfect. So you're in American Jazz Museum Swing Shop. That's cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Partner with you, like, yeah, you can sell it here too, and that's so cool how you can use your brands to help uplift other brands, right?
Yes.
So talk about like your band and the history and like what you've been doing and like even back to your family, your son, in the band, everything. Like.
Oh my goodness, the band. Woo! I'm gonna try to condense this. First of all, Grandma was a musician. So Mama was a musician, and she was a state minister of music for Western Missouri. So we were always at church. My father was a pastor of a church, and I played bass there. My brother played drums. My sister played drums there. My mother was the organist. And my other little brother, he's a great producer, gospel producer. He played organ. So we all came up in the church, and my mother always played all styles of music around the house. Donny Hathaway, she played Count Basie, Stanley Clarke, um, everything, every style of music that was nice. Curtis Mayfield. Later on, Parliament Funkadelic. I mean, every style of music from the mid '50s to like the present, she played around the house. So that made a big impact on our musicality. And I played in the school band, and eventually I played tuba. I played tuba and baritone in high school, and eventually picked up the electric bass. And that's when I learned jazz. You know, I've heard it all my life, but actually that's when I picked it up my senior year in high school. Then I went to college, Florida A&M University, the Rattlers strike, and played in the jazz band there. I played a marching band. I played a flute ensemble. I played a percussion ensemble, wind ensemble. I was a freelance bass player there, and they didn't want me to leave that college because I was playing for all these groups and things. But I was like, I need to graduate. So that's kind of the beginnings of it. And in college, I got a chance to play with some luminaries. I played with Nat Adderley. We've opened up for George Benson. We've opened up for people like Christian McBride and his band, and Spyro Gyra. Just met a lot of people. Me and Scott Ambush, I met him through college, and got a chance to meet a whole lot of jazz luminaries in college. So formed a group of my own later on in college, and gigged around town, did some things, some jazz festivals and things. Graduated in 1991, came to Kansas City, and worked with the Kansas City, Missouri School District for about 20 years, between Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas. I'm saying all this within like 30 seconds. And then I started the James Ward Band, the JWB, when at the American Jazz Museum, a band canceled, and Gerald Dunn, he was booking the venue, needed a band to fill in. So I called some friends to come in and play, and we went in and played. That was in 1999. So ever since then, we've been playing. We've recorded 2 CDs, which were charted on the Smooth Jazz charts, and it was on the Weather Channel and other places. Someone called from Tampa, said they heard it in Muzak, XM Radio. So they're still playing. We're still getting royalties off of those CDs. So we have another CD coming out, so you can stay tuned for that.
Perfect. If people want to come and see the JWB, where would they come and find you guys at?
Well, you can go to www.thejwb.com. That's THEJWB.com. And that's the band's website, and you'll see our schedule there. You'll see pictures and some videos and things like that.
Perfect. So I just want to basically end up with a little bit of background on your...
Well, the deal is, in college, our band director, William P. Foster, he would always say from the podium, you can take this concept and apply it to all aspects of life. Ever since he said that, I've learned how to apply musical concepts to photography and cooking and everything else that's artistic, because all the arts have a common thread through them if you can learn how to connect them, right? So so that's the deal with the photography. So I was applying musical concepts to photography in terms of lighting, in terms of contrast, blend and balance, and exposure, color balance, white balance, different things like that. All those things, when I started studying those things, kind of snapped into place because of my music background. So it just opened up a new world really quick. I would say we started a photography business back in 1995. So since then, I've been shooting and developing, doing a lot of Photoshop and Corel Painter. We do Painterly portraits, we photo restoration, we teach Photoshop, different things like that. So to me, it's one big artistic endeavor.
Perfect. If someone is interested in having you shoot them or something, get in contact
Yes.
with photography, how would they do that?
Yes, you can go to the website. It's www.J
Ward Photography.
You're going to edit this, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So it's you have GrooveWardPhoto.com. GrooveWardPhoto.com. That's a photography website, and you could also go to JamesWardPhoto.PhotoReflect.com. I know that's long. JamesWardPhoto.PhotoReflect.com or Groove Ward photo.com. And we're also on Facebook. In college, in the conducting class, the conductor taught us what it takes to make a band sound good, or any musical choir, any music organization. It was articulation, blend and balance, phrasing, interpretation, and precision. Did I say precision? It's like 4 or 5 different aspects of music that I immediately were able to apply to photography and cooking. So it's a matter of tweaking, being able to make minute changes to things that brings, because wow factors are small changes. They aren't drastic things. That's kind of like the wow factor, and it's done through nuance. And the whole nuance concept I learned through Wynton Marsalis, also incredible educator in jazz and life, period. He was saying that it's about the nuance that makes jazz swing, that makes blues do what it does, that makes funk funky, that makes, and then apply it to culinary. It's the difference, but like you've eaten something that's too salty, too sweet. You've eaten something that's too thick, too rich, not rich enough. It's too thin. It's or just bland, or just nasty. And that's, of course, that's a vague term, but yeah. So flavor. Craig Mack just passed, and he did his famous tune was "Flavor in Your Ear." So that was a thing of the '90s where they had flavor with an A, flavor or whatever. Yeah, Kick Do Flavor in Your Ear with your baggy pants worn backwards and the jackets, what they call them, that ambulance drivers wear, like that, huh? It's not a bomber jacket, but the jackets that the ambulance workers wear became popular. It's weird.
That was before my time.
It's similar, and I'm old too, so I might be getting that wrong, but it seemed like there was a period of time where they were wearing, that was popular because it had the fluorescent stripes on it and stuff,
Yeah, that's a trend I haven't seen yet. I gotta find that.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, y'all remember the members only jackets with the stripe on it, and they had a pocket with a little plastic window, and you had your nickname in there, like J Love, or there's J Love. She's an incredible singer. I played with her. Whatever your nickname is, you had it in your pocket or whatever. So yeah, did I answer your question? Alrighty. For the last 20, 30 years, you make up your mind what you're gonna do, and I'm like, I'm gonna develop all 3. But now I have someone to make it clear what I do, and when to show them this and when to show them that. Because some people can't fathom me doing photography and music. Well, oh, you a photographer too? And I'm like, yeah, my card.
All right, perfect. All right, to finish up, Mr. Ward, if there's one thing that you want people to remember you for, or just want to know about you, what would that be?
That I'm a giver. That I'm a giver, and I love people, and I like to see people happy. Sometimes it works out for me. Sometimes I get a pie thrown at me, but I dodge it.
So just talk a little bit about that, like, what's made you into that?
Someone, it was several years ago. Let me start over, and action. There were several years ago where I was really down. I had like sort of a pessimistic kind of outlook, because when you work up a craft and you spend hours on it to develop it, you're going to become a conflict of interest to quite a few people. And I didn't know how to handle that, because I would say, well, why do they keep trying to shut me down? Why do they keep hating on me? Why does that? But this one lady said that when you learn how to change your expectations, then the world will change around you. So every morning I'm talking to myself. Self-talk, affirmations. Today's going to be great. Today something magical is going to happen. If it doesn't happen by lunch, I'm going to make it happen. And what it did was it lifted my spirits, and people see it in you. and that helps me dealing with other people. So just changing my expectations makes people treat you different, and it makes people, it makes people that wouldn't normally respect what you do respect you based off of the vibe that you're putting off. So that's a short version.